This is a doctrine called social redemption, and it's a very important concept these days. This is taken directly from the Society of Social Redemption, and there are three basic tenets. I'll read them off to you. First, acknowledging Christ's solidarity with humanity to redeem the entire human race. What do you think of that? Okay, Christ came to redeem the entire human race. I can go for that. But here's the next step. Just as Adam and Eve's sin made us into a massa peccatorum, Latin for all in this together, the fall of man, so we are redeemed as a whole. Christ did not come to redeem each of us individually, so there's no need for that messy repentance stuff. But as a whole, mankind as a unit, whether you like it or not, whether you're religious or not. Second one, to make specific relations by which the fall and redemption is communicated relationally to all humanity, namely by family birth and social relationships rather than individuality, i.e., salvation is passed on by social or family relationship, kind of like a virus. It's not by individual choice. Third, and this one is my personal favorite, evaluating the modes of Christ's intervention in the world and concluding Christian tradition looks for the collaborative rather than unilateral atonement, interacting with humanity rather than taking it on as an objective. And I can tell from you have the same response as I do. What does that mean? Well, it all means Christ never achieved atonement. Bottom line. It is yet to be done, and it is up to mankind and his works to do it. Think this is irrelevant today? Think again. We've heard this before, haven't we? Now, we're not going to attack politicians. That's not what we do. But these are the politicians who said, remember the famous quote? You got to pass it. It's what Jesus would do. Recognize the importance. There is a huge difference between a government that will interpret justice for you on your behalf and enact civil law and taxes from it. It's exactly what the divine right kings did for age after age. And yet, this argument, whether you are for or against national health care, that is not the point. But whenever you hear this argument, red flags should be going up. Because, as I said, there's a big difference between a government doing it and individuals and private organizations offering it. That's the difference. And for 80 million Christians, they bought this hook, line, and sinker. You've got to know your history, because tyranny happens the same way over and over again, just under a different name and a different disguise. Is this just my own opinion? Here's what Pope John Paul said about social redemption. It's responsible for more horrors against humanity in the 20th century than any other false faith doctrine. Samuel Adams, the basis for the greatest scourge against humanity. That was an opinion by all of our founding fathers. because it was the basis of the divine right kings. How bad can it get? Well, I think our poster child for that is Pope Sixtus IV. Our founding fathers knew that corruption always turns eventually to evil, and none depict this evil better than Pope Sixtus IV. He attempted a permanent family dynasty within the papacy, inserting those illegitimate sons, those nephews, in positions of power. In fact, his illegitimate son, Cardinal Raphael Sansone Rio, failed to assassinate the heads of the de' Medici family in Florence in 1478. The de' Medici family publicly hung the Archbishop of Pisa at the main square of Florence in retaliation. Pope Sixtus IV retaliated himself, declaring war on Florence and placing it under siege. He's also known for arranging the Venetians to attack Ferrara in 1482, where thousands were killed. He wiped out the unconverted Jews of Tours, Italy. He erected his own private satanic altar within the Vatican. He's also the first pope to institute burning at the stake and the Spanish Inquisition, a clear and unmistakable message to provincial lords who dared usurp the authority of Rome. But even this evil is eclipsed by the most powerful family in Europe, and it's one our founding fathers thoroughly recognized. No discussion of power or corruption leading to what our founders thought, other than the de' Medicis. The tenets of biblical Christianity and humanism in the name of God could not be more different. For one embraces the freedom of intellectual thought, and the other despises it. And thus we turn to the greatest inflection point of Western civilization, the Reformation, with all its unintended consequences. Join us next time, here on the Divine Right King's Experiment